Dearly beloveds, we are gathered here today for some mess because things between Buzby and Jay-Z have somewhat re-erupted in the past 6 to 7 hours, and we have to get into this. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali, daily and consistent content. I've got a haircut. Come on, I got the mullet again. Hopefully you guys can see it. There is no reason for me to be showing you the mullet. There really is no reason, but I just wanted to show it to you guys anyways, because we're about to get into some things. So Tony Buzby has submitted evidence in regards to the extortion claims that Jay-Z is accusing him of. And what Tony Buzby has submitted is basically the initial letter sent to Jay-Z and his people. Jay-Z is claiming that, Buzby threatened me, look what he did behind the scenes, I was forced to come out. Remember Jay-Z's initial statement, very dramatic indeed. And Buzby obviously, is responding to a separate case dealing with Jay-Z of extortion, which is what Jay-Z is accusing Buzby of. And Buzby's like, well, I wasn't really coming for you like that. I was basically sending you basic litigation claims from what all lawyers do, and you've made it more dramatic by running to the media and making these dramatic statements. I wasn't cornering you, I was doing what lawyers do. That's basically what is happening here. Tony's response to Jay-Z's lawsuit of course has been submitted, and he argued that Jay-Z's case was nothing more than a public relations gambit designed to distract the media and public from the serious allegations of SA and R-word that have been made against Carter in a separate legal action. Carter, Jay-Z, does not and cannot point to any actual wrongdoing by the Buzby parties whatsoever. Carter's claims for civil extortion, defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress are based on generalized public statements that do not even reference him, and entirely standard issued pre-litigation communication. That's all it is. Tony said that several of his clients have identified Jay-Z as an accomplice of Diddy and a perpetrator of violence and SA against them. Now, the way he just threw that sentence in there is the real crux of madness in this video. I'm going to repeat it for you guys again. Tony said several of his clients, not one, not two, but several, have identified Jay-Z as an accomplice of Diddy and a perpetrator of SV against them and SA against them. That is absolutely insane. That several of Buzby's clients, does that mean that more lawsuits are coming from Buzby against Jay-Z? Does that mean that the likeliness of this lawsuit getting dismissed, the current one, from the particular judge Torres, Annalisa Torres, is that likeliness going to be dismissed if there are other people ready to come forward via Buzby or anybody else? Buzby is saying in this motion against Jay-Z and his extortion claims that there are actually several of my people that I'm repping and several people that I want to rep that have actually recognized you as an accomplice. Now, if a lot more people are coming forward saying, wait, Jay-Z was with Diddy with me as well. Yep, Jay-Z was there. Yep, he did this to me. Jay-Z and Diddy were there. That in itself also gives credence and credibility to this initial woman who's come forward to discuss Jay-Z. It's really bad news for him if this is the case. This could be a bluff moment from Buzby, but I also doubt it to be a bluff moment, to be honest with you. But that in itself is crazy to see. Crazy. Tony said all the letters he sent to Jay-Z's team were part of common litigation practices. Carter's attempts to argue that the Buzby parties threatened to publicly accuse him of a crime or expose him or impute him to him as a disgrace or crime unless he paid money to settle the lawsuits, but his allegations fail for multiple reasons. The motion continues. As part of his effort to dismiss the claims, Tony attached the letter he sent to Jay-Z's lawyers in an attempt to settle Jane Doe's claims. And this is what the letter reads that was initially sent. Due to the trauma of, SA, Jane Doe has endured intense emotional suffering plagued by overwhelming anxiety and panic. Depression weighs heavily on her. She avoids many social environments, crowded spaces. Her mental and emotional health has deteriorated from normal day functioning to simply being unattainable. She fears for her life and constantly relives the horrors she endured at the hands of you and your associates over the span of years. She will never fully heal from the atrocities that she was forced to commit after being drugged and R-worded by you and Diddy. Wow. The letter continued, it has been my experience that when someone does this to a victim once, the likelihood is that they've done this same thing to many others. I have recommended Ms. Doe that we immediately file the suit, and I expect that when we do that, other victims will come forward who have been taken advantage of by the hands of you in the way that Ms. Doe reports. To her credit, Ms. Doe has no real interest in causing a public spectacle or filing a public lawsuit, but she will do so. She does, however, want something of substance done, and this is about an unacceptable situation and your actions. Thus, Ms. Doe hereby demands that within 2 weeks of the date of this letter that your designate contact my office to schedule a confidential mediation. At that mediation, we can expect the attendance of you or someone with authority to act on your behalf who can work together with Ms. Doe to resolve this delicate and important matter. If my office fails to hear from you or your designate by close of business on November 19th, we will take a different course. Should this demand to reasonably mediate not be accepted, Ms. Doe will have no choice but to file a suit in a court of law and see all legal remedies available. We will of course provide you or your attorney's details that identify Ms. Doe once we hear from you. Okay, so he literally saying saying that we will, of course, provide you and your details of the identity that identify Miss Doe once we hear from you. So he's ready to give the identity. So Jay-Z's lawyer is basically saying that we don't have the identity, it's not fair, and etc. Using that against an argument didn't make any sense, which is why Annalisa Torres said that she can continue anonymously, because in this letter it clearly shows that Buzby was willing to give the identity of this alleged victim to Jay-Z. Now this particular letter is strongly worded, but what Buzby is saying that this is just common litigation practice. This is what we do as lawyers. I was not trying to corner you or pressure you to do XYZ, even though the letter is strongly worded. But Jay-Z basically ran to the media and was being very dramatic about it, and he's using this as evidence. But no doubt Alex Spiro, who is currently the lawyer for Jay-Z, will look at this letter that Buzby has submitted as evidence and will basically pick it apart and use it for him. A fight between Buzby and Spiro is about to get even more ugly, and of course these are some wild allegations, but Buzby has submitted this as, you know, evidence. Personally, I don't think this is strong evidence from Buzby's side in regards to this extortion case, because easily from the letter that I read to you guys, which is strongly worded, Alex Spiro can easily turn this around and say, look lawyer, look judge, sorry, look at the letter, look at the stuff that he's saying, he's cornering and pressuring my client. Even though this is common litigation practices and I can understand where Buzby is coming from, what I'm also saying to you guys is that I can also see how Alex Spiro can twist this and change this, because we know that man does not shut up, number one, and number two, he likes to be dramatic just like Jay-Z, and number three, the way he twists things are left, right and center. Jay-Z can absolutely be allowed to defend himself, absolutely, that's legal common practice, but at the same time there is a difference between defending yourself and inflaming situations to the public media on purpose, when in actual fact that probably isn't what is going on. Because in this letter, Buzby is basically saying mediation, I will give you the identity of Jane Doe as well, and obviously showcasing publicly and in court documents that this is what I sent to him. And number four, saying, in what way am I extorting you when I'm just following common litigation practices? Jay-Z and Spiro arguing extortion and defamation in a separate case against Buzby is a PR move, and also a move to say, look, woe is me, look what he's doing to me, look what they're doing to me, they're coming for me, is this really fair? I'm not going to have it, I'm coming down hard on you, I'm also going to file a defamation on top of responding to the initial lawsuit. That's basically what Jay-Z is saying. Sorry, I'm speaking quite fast in this video, but you know, the ideas and thoughts are running through my mind. But basically it's intriguing to me because Jay-Z is demanding the accuser reveal identity and accuses her of a shakedown attempt. But if we actually read the documents once again, we will of course provide you of your attorney details that identify Miss Doe once we hear from you. So I don't understand then why he would run to the media to say XYZ, we want the identity and ret-a-tet-tet, when that was offered to you initially prior to this even going public, when a mediation was offered to you. So I don't know what that means. It basically means that what Buzby is saying is that Jay-Z likes to dramatize and inflame things publicly to get the people and PR on his side, which would make sense for him to do because that's what he's going to do anyways. Long story short, this is basically an extortion case and Buzby is responding towards Jay-Z. It's getting ugly. Buzby has submitted evidence. It doesn't look good for Jay-Z overall, because of course he's saying that he will show the identity of Miss Doe, and also he said that many of his clients actually identify Jay-Z as an accomplice of Diddy. That is crazy. Do I see Diddy snitching on Jay-Z? Honestly, I don't think so, to be honest with you. I don't think as of right now that he would want to be coming out on bail or whatever to be seen as some kind of snitch on the streets or whatever. I just don't think Diddy's ego will allow it. This is a lot. This is intriguing. Wanted to give you guys a quick 8-minute video to break this down via In Touch Weekly, who have obviously got access to these legal documents. And, you know, it is an absolute madness. Do subscribe, comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, send a super thanks if you guys wish to. They would go a long way. I would thoroughly appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.